This is Matteo von BEWITCHER, and you're watching Belgian Jasper.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time on the channel, hit subscribe right now. BEWITCHER is one of those up-and-coming underground bands that really take us back to the 80s with a bit of a modern twist to it. Their new album is about to come out, so I sat down with Matteo von BEWITCHER to learn all about it. Well, Matteo, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Cursed Be Thy Kingdom is almost out. This is your first record for Century Media, which, is a big deal, let's be honest. I assume that you're counting down the days. Are you feeling mostly excitement right now, or is there a good amount of pressure as well?
I'd say it's just anticipation, just to see what the overall kind of consensus is. I mean, it's not something I put a lot of stock into. Like, are people gonna hate it or are they gonna love it? When it's just like I know I like it, so I think everybody else will too. And we've had the singles coming out and getting reactions to that, so we're kind of getting a vibe of what people are feeling right now. So I think it's pretty positive.
Start the fire, for the witch must burn. The demon stands in her obsidian eye.
Based on those singles, in those songs, the band doesn't quite go full out, foot on the gas 100% at the time, like we've heard you do in the past sometimes. Should we expect somewhat of a different sound for BEWITCHER on this album, or is there just a lot that we haven't heard yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's what you're getting right now with the singles is kind of a sampling of the other stuff that we've been kind of working on, and it's showing some different sides of the band, because we've always been a band that's been about going fast and doing all that stuff, but we've also had these other influences and these other stylistic things that we like to do. We just haven't done a lot of it in the past, so we're kind of expanding on it now. And I think when you get the whole record in your hands and you get the whole thing playing, you'll see that we're basically the same band, just tried some different stuff here and there.
One of the singles, Satanic Magic Attack, definitely kicks off with an intro that makes us think about 2 Minutes to Midnight, but then maybe more so on that song than I've heard before, a little bit of Destruction's smear in your vocals there as well. I think it's fair to say that BEWITCHER is a band that likes to mix it up.
Yeah, definitely, man. We just get bored otherwise, Like, you can only play Too Fast for the Flames so many times and write so many songs that are like that before you're like, all right, my hand's doing this constantly, and it's just like, all right, let's do something else.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all about paying homage to the old gods, and all that stuff goes right along with it.
Okay. Talking about some old gods and maybe more forgotten gods. The third single, Mystifier, is any relation there with the Brazilian Black Death band? Or has it nothing to do with it?
No, I think it's just coincidence, probably. They're cool, they're a great band, but I didn't really think about it, because the abbreviated title is, or I should say the parenthetical title, White Knight City, so it's a reference to St. Petersburg and Russia and the whole Rasputin story and everything, so it really wasn't relevant to the band itself. But yeah, cool coincidence.
Yeah, and a song that also shows that BEWITCHER is not only 100% sex, drugs, rock and roll, satanic lust all the time. Underneath all that evil imagery, there's a band that has a tour bus called the Valentine. That shows that there's a lot of emotion in the band. My question, though, about your tour bus and the contents, why is it particularly Andy that was assigned to the pee cup?
He does more peeing than anybody else in the band, so he's just got a smaller bladder, I guess. I don't know. So he's the guy in charge of that. We had all these tour plans for 2020, and we we were going to be like on the road the entire fucking year. And so it was, when all that stuff got canceled, it gave us the opportunity, because we were ready to go pretty much, but it gave us that extra time to really focus on the songs. We weren't really able to rehearse right away with some of the lockdown stuff, so that took a little more time, and we were just able to kind of hone the parts a little bit more. It ended up being like a better, like, overall performance in the studio once we were able to kind of get in there.
Yeah.
Who knows what it would have been like if we had gone through, if nothing had happened, like with the COVID stuff. It might have been a very different scenario for us. I don't know.
Maybe this has given some of newer fans also more freedom or more time to explore the material before you take it on the road, and people come to your shows in 2021, 2022 already fully knowing the new material, which might be a really good experience for you as well.
Yeah, it's kind of what happened to us on the first record, actually, because we didn't tour the year that it came out. We had to wait like a whole other year for it to come together, and that ended up benefiting us because people had a whole year to listen to the record, get familiar with it, and then all of a sudden there was people coming out to these shows at all these places that we were going, and I don't think that would have happened if we'd hit the road right afterwards. So hopefully something like that will kind of take place again, but you never know. I think it's going to be good either way.
Like the last album, the Under the Witching Cross, you worked again with Armand Anthony from Night Demon to record the album. You're also working with Jarvis from Night Demon with his cassette label Iron Grip. Where does this partnership come from?
Just old buddies of ours. We've known the Night Demon guys for years now, and Jarvis was our manager for a little bit. Things got kind of busy for him, and just we didn't really need him in the capacity that he was kind of offering for us, so we kind of ended up ending that partnership on a friendly basis. Obviously, he still guides us in weird ways, all the time. So, and then with Arma, it came together on the Witching Cross album, and we were lucky enough to get him again for this one.
This is an album that we're gonna want to have on vinyl, for nothing else, at least for the beautiful artwork by Paoli Gardi. We see a demonic figure overlooking a kind of no man's land, wasteland. Like, are there specific, because I know that, wastelands and so on, they are definitely being referenced in Satanic Magic Attack, but was this an existing artwork, or is this connected to some of the music?
No, it's 100% original, based on some of the themes in the songs. So we just kind of, I had all these lyrics that were sort of, they just kind of conjured like visuals in your mind, when you read them. And so like Valley of the Ravens is referenced. The first track, Death Returns, is referenced quite a bit, and the title track. And it's funny that you mentioned Satanic Magic Attack, because it really wasn't part of the whole concept, but it does kind of fit at the same time.
Definitely, yeah. It's been quite a hectic year for the United States on multiple levels, or the last few years even. And then racial issues and social issues came back in the spotlight. How did Bewitcher as a band, experience all all these cries for social change and social justice? Is that something that you feel, when you take a step back, is somewhat reflected more in the record? Do you think that has influenced you or inspired you in some way, shape, or form?
I think on a personal level, it affects you when you're living in the middle of it, but we try to keep that kind of stuff sort of out of the music, I guess. I mean, certain events definitely made their way, like inspired some of the lyrics, but it was really more on a grander scale. It was more of like, how do I fit this into the context of what we do? Because I don't want to go, okay, now I feel this way about this issue, so now I'm going to start writing lyrics about it. That's, Bewitcher has boundaries that we have to respect. Otherwise, it's just not the same band. But yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's weird because I'm like, I'm half black myself, so I feel these things on a daily basis, and it's really just because they've come into the forefront in the majority of people's worlds.
Sure.
It's kind of always there for me. So I don't really. I mean, it's just a daily thing that you deal with or that you experience. And in Portland, people's voices are fucking loud, man. They are very like outspoken about how they feel about these things, and it's not the first time it's happened here, and it won't be the last.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's part of life here, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it like it's not a new thing for you, and you personally, you've experienced that. We talked earlier about the fact that Bewitcher is a band that likes to be on the road, and you mentioned it just now. You are you're a person of mixed race. On top of that, you play in an overtly satanic band that in its lyrics doesn't hold back when it comes to the sinning piece of it. I can't imagine what kind of obstacles in certain areas of the United States you have to overcome when you're going on tour, or when you're faced with people that just don't necessarily understand or get, what you're trying to do, or understand your art. How has that been for you? Like, I can't imagine that Bewitcher has had some interesting stories playing in the Bible Belt, for example.
Yeah, we haven't had a ton of issues with it, just because we usually play the bigger cities, bigger markets. So like it's usually pretty progressive, even if you're not, super southern state or whatever. Georgia, Atlanta's pretty progressive. It's pretty big, So it's kind of more of the things that happen in between the shows or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you get to those rural areas where you start getting looks from people, but it's. I think if you're in a metal band touring around the States in some of the more redneck areas or whatever, you're going to get looks either way. It doesn't matter what color your skin is,
Sure.
Long hair, cut off shirts, a bunch of dirt bags rolling around. So that's kind of, it affects all of us. It's kind of almost the same. On a personal level, again, it's something I deal with from time to time, no matter where I am. So it's just kind of like, what's the deal?
Is there anything else that the fans, for as much as you can share any surprises potentially, is there anything that the fans should know about, that they could get excited about for the next few weeks, months, when it comes to the Bewitcher plans?
Yeah, we're working on some like more video content type stuff. It'll be, well, originally I think we were trying to release it around the time that the album came out, but I think it's going to be a little bit later now. So keep an eye out for it. It's sort of our take on the whole live stream thing that bands have been doing during the pandemic, just to get something out there, give that live experience of some sort. For us, we took it from a like more of a studio perspective, but it's still live, so we're still doing our doing our thing. It's going to be interesting. I think it's really cool. We just caught some early clips of it the other day, so it's looking rad so far.
Matteo, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Yeah, super excited about the new release, and thanks again for your time today.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you. We'll see ya.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.